My name is Jay Rockensock, and in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create a basic email signature in your Gmail account. With that, let's get started. The first thing you'll want to do is log into your Gmail account. Afterward, select the hamburger icon and select Gmail. Then selecting the settings gear, see all settings, scroll down until you see the category signature. Now, if you haven't created an email signature before, you're not going to see these two boxes. All you're going to see is create new button. And that's actually our next step. When selecting that button, you're going to be prompted to name this signature that we're creating. Now you can name it whatever you wish. But for me, I'm going to name it standard. I'm going to confirm this by selecting create. Now I'm ready really to manually create this email signature. Now I've already gone ahead and created a template for us to use, and essentially I copied and pasted the signature from one of our staff members. Now I'm going to pause here in this tutorial and show you a time-saving technique that I often use when kind of going between two tabs. As you can see, I'm working with one window. This is my main window. I'm going to grab this tab and pull it down. Then I'm going to hover over this green button, place this window to the right side of my screen, and then select my main window. Now I kind of have this dual display, if you will. I'm going to place my cursor on this gray bar here and just move it a bit to the right side, allowing me to see my email signature while still working on the main window. I'm going to move to my email signature, and now we're ready to start creating this email signature. We're going to start with the name. Let me pause here and answer a question. Some of you may be going a little bit faster than I am. I get this question a lot. Can't I just come over here and copy this email signature and paste it? And the answer to that question is yes and no. Yes, if it is just text alone. It will actually paste it correctly and keep the format and the bold and the color, and it will look perfectly fine. But when it comes to images, it does not look good. It might look good on your end, but when you send that email, it will not look well with your recipients. So, yes and no. For this case in this tutorial, many of those who are watching will not have this template, so I'm going to start by creating it manually. We're going to start by the name. With the name, press enter, do the position title, press enter, the school name, press enter, and then the phone number, keeping the modern format, (6330), and then the extension, press enter, and then include the email. And all of these are optional. If you don't find that, inputting the email is beneficial for you, that is totally fine. I'm going to do it in this tutorial because towards the end, I'm going to show you something cool that you can do with it. I'm going to press enter another time just to create a space around the logo. There are many different ways in putting a logo into your email signature, and one of them is by creating a screenshot. You can do so by pressing the command key on your Mac, and while doing so, press the shift key, and while pressing both of them, press the 4 key. You'll get this kind of plus cursor, if you will, and you can select and drag over, and now you essentially got an image for the logo. But we're going to utilize a different method. We're going to right click, select view more option, and then save to keep. This will actually get a better image of the logo. Right click on it, and save as. I'm going to name it Becker logo. Confirm by selecting save, replace. As you can see, I've done a few. So the next step is to move this logo into our drive. And if you have multiple images, maybe it's worth creating a folder and call it email signature. Make sure all those folders are in that folder, just in case if you need to edit or make adjustments later on. We're going to go into the URL and refresh the page, and now we see that image. We're going to go back to the email signature tab, select the insert image, go to Google Drive, and select our image. Now you're probably saying, well, hold on a second, Jay. I could have just selected the upload and click browser and find my image through here. And you're absolutely right. You can find it on your desktop or whatever it's located. But when you do so, it's going to move it to your Google Drive anyway. So that's why I moved it to the Google Drive. Let's go back to my drive. That's where the Becker logo is located. I'm going to select it and select insert. You'll find this pop up, and what essentially it's saying is you need to make this image accessible to anyone by selecting anyone with a link. So let's go back and do that. Here's the image. We're going to click the settings, share, and then share. Make sure it's not restricted anymore and select anyone with a link. We're going to confirm it by selecting done. Go back into our email signature, select the Google Drive, My Drive, and find the Becker logo. Select insert. And there you have it. It is there and it is big. That is not what we want. So we're going to select that image and select small. Now it looks a lot better. I'm going to create a space here again, giving some space around the logo. So we're going to enter again. We're going to close this keep notes. We won't be needing it for the rest of this tutorial. And the next step, we're going to utilize our favorite copy and paste method. Like I said, when it comes to text, it works beautifully. So we're going to copy this last portion by pressing the command key. And while pressing the command key, select the key to copy. Come over, press the command key. While pressing the command key, press the V key to paste. And of course, if you're not a shortcut key person, you can select and right click on a text and use the copy and paste here. And as I say, Command C and Command V are your keyboard shortcuts. Well, there you have it. We have now created an email signature. It is almost perfect. There are a few things to do. Now, I want to take a pause here and just encourage you to add one more essential line. This is so important for your new staff. Now, we sort of have it here. It says our location, Becker Intermediate School, but it doesn't really help new staff or your technology staff or any other support staff in your education institution. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Having a line that says, I'm in this building, IS, and most of the parents or your staff are going to know these shortcuts, IS, MS, HS, and so on. I'm going to create a dash and then put my hall name in there. It might be blue. It might be, in this case, it's office, and then my room number, 304. This line right here helps technology staff so much. We might eventually get to know where you are, but by helping so many staff, it might be difficult to remember where everyone is. So having this is a huge benefit, not just for your technology, but for other support staff in your education building. Okay, let's get back to the main topic. We are almost finished. And essentially, if you're happy with what you see here, you can essentially be done and follow these next steps. But this doesn't look very nice. It's kind of really hard to see what I'm looking at. That's why the format is so essential. So let's at least do this part, and then I'll show you the next couple of steps. First thing we're going to do is bold the name, and then in this case the color is blue. The next two lines are bolded, so we're going to select those two lines and select the bold. And now we essentially have a really well designed email signature. There are just a few couple steps and we're done. The next thing you'll want to do is come under these two categories and select your standard. And I say standard because that's what is the name of this email signature we just created. So for both new emails and reply and forward, we'll both use those standard email signature. Now on your end, this will be unchecked, and I encourage you to check it. And that, well, let me show you what happens when it's not checked. We're going to scroll down and click Save Settings or Save Changes. This is really important. Don't be afraid to save your changes. Absolutely take a break, scroll down and save it. I'm going to compose an email and look at what happened. It created a dash. Some of the times I hear teachers come, I really don't like this dash. There's no reason for it to have. How can I remove it? And that is essentially how you remove that dash, is by going in and selecting that button. Now that will be removed. And the last thing you'll want to do is move your cursor to the name and press enter a few times, just so that you don't have to do that every time you compose an email. Now you give yourself room to write your email out. And that is essentially Save Changes. You essentially now created your email signature. Congratulations, this looks wonderful. Now you can stop this video right now and you're essentially set. But for those who wants to take it to the next level, that's what I'm going to use the remaining of this tutorial. So what does it mean to take it to the next level? Well, when you look at this document, you may not see it because it's embedded, and I have embedded links for the phone number and embedded link for the email. And what that does, having an embedded link, is that it tells that mobile device that this is a phone number. And so when I select it, it's going to say, hey, open 3CX. Now 3CX is an application, it's a phone application. So it essentially says, do you want to call this individual? Now I'm not going to call the individual, but essentially it works. It launched my phone application. And same likewise with my email. If I select my email, it's going to launch my email app. Now, as a teacher, you shouldn't be using Mail. You should be using Gmail app. But on the Apple, this is the default email application. We're going to force quit it here and go back to our main screen. And that's really essentially what I'm doing. You might find this in documents where they say, hey, go to my Facebook. And then instead of having the www, you would essentially say insert, and here you would put www.facebook.com. And this would essentially make it a link so that when you click it, it goes to Facebook. All right, so how do we do that in the email signature? We're going to scroll down, select our email signature. Now you kind of already see that Gmail already took this and recognized that this is a email. So they already did that. But let's just say it didn't do it on your end. How would I actually do that? Well, you would highlight it, select change, or highlight it and click this link. Now I deactivated it, so let me activate it again. And it automatically recognized it. For phone numbers, it's a little different. We're going to select it, select the link, and utilize the TEL colon, and now we're going to type the number with no special characters. 763-261-6330. And we're going to insert a comma. And the reason is a comma is like telling the phone to pause for a second. And then we're going to finish it by typing the extension number, which I just realized it's wrong. And then we're going to say apply. Now, this is a good thing to have incidents so I can show you how to fix it. So what if I typed it incorrectly? You can go ahead and uncheck the link and just simply fix it like that way, and then do the process again. We're going to do TEL colon 763-261-6330, put a comma 1101, and then apply. Now, these two are now set to do links, and you can copy them. Did I highlight? Not copy, sorry. Highlight both of them and select the black. Now they look just like our email signature. Unfortunately, you can't, as far as I'm concerned, remove the underline, and I actually like the underline, so it tells my recipients that this is a link. And essentially, you're done. Now, if you have other links, you can add them. Maybe you have Facebook here, and just like I showed you, you can type Facebook and make that into a link by selecting it, saying this is going to be a link. I'm going to type www.facebook.com and select. And after that, any recipients can click on it, and it will lead them to my Facebook account. Now, of course, my Facebook account isn't just facebook.com. There's more to it. I'm going to delete the Facebook, delete that space. And now essentially, I have now I've actually finished the email signature by utilizing both of those features. This now becomes my phone, and I can test that, or actually I can see it right there. Call. I know that that worked. And then hover over the email, and it should say email. I'm not going to wait for it, but I just know that it's going to work. If you have any questions, comments, concerns regarding email signatures, I want you to feel free to go to your building IT and ask for help. If you have not done this before, please approach us. That's why we're here. We're here to work together and make your life easier. Thank you for watching.